Hello, everyone. This is Rick Latona, and this is the open house presentation of the Allegiant. And I'm joined by Michael Caldwell. Michael, thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you, and thank you for everyone that's here.
Yeah. Before we get started, I want to give everybody with audio problems a chance to read this and to let everyone else know. If you have questions, please use the GoToMeeting software to ask the questions. Just type them right there in the box. I will ask them at the appropriate time if I know there's going to be something in the presentation about it, or I'll ask it at the end. Either way, I will make sure I get it asked. The deal we're looking at today is one that does over 130 grand a year in profit, and as you can see, has a very reasonable asking price. But we'll get more into all those numbers later. Uh, for now, let's just keep it broad. Michael, the best way to start us off is if you would just tell us all the history of the site, why you started it, when you started it, what it's all about.
Well, I used to be a marketing consultant, and I ended up starting my own firm, and that didn't do too well. I ended up working as a marketing director for a law firm. And as I was working there, I kind of told myself, with all this SEO and social media experience, if you can do it yourself, then why have all these clients or why deal with all the headache trying to manage people and do it for others. And so I started in my mind trying to create a project that I knew I could manage and that would draw in a lot of traffic. And I knew that politics was a good subject, specifically because of how passionate people were about their ideals. And it was one that I knew that I could get people to contribute material for free, which is hard usually on other topics. But with politics, people are usually so passionate about it that they're willing to write and they're willing to have their material out there published for free, and they're just happy with that. So, I had a few different ideas of what I wanted to focus on, progressive and kind of like a more libertarian ideals seem to be two of the ones I kind of wanted to go with, especially libertarian and kind of alternative news because that's not a lot on TV. So that's where a lot of people go online to find that sort of news, and people are very passionate about it. In fact, every article that we write that's a bit kind of subversive or about the DoD just goes incredibly viral. Sometimes over 30,000 Facebook shares in a day. And so we started it on this platform, and I advertised through Facebook and all these other means to try to get writers to contribute. And at one point, we had over 150 active writers, and so that's really how it grew because these contributors share the articles that they write with their friends and family. And so the more people that you publish, then the more they share it amongst themselves, the more it grows. And that's how we got to the point where we are today. So yeah, I mean, it was,
Oh, sorry
it
about that.
started slow and grew.
I apologize for the pause, everyone. I'm getting over bronchitis, and I had my phone muted while I was coughing, and I forgot to unmute
Oh,
it.
you're fine. Actually, I'm getting over bronchitis myself.
Oh yeah, maybe I got it from you. No, I was kidding. Um, so I'm gonna go through some screenshots that you sent, and just tell us all what we're looking at. What's this one right here?
This is kind of just a concept logo and little ad that's gone around. We used it on our Facebook. Just some things I played with, some play on words. At the beginning, this was the Allegiant was the tricolor at the top, and then I ended up making it black, all in Times New Roman. So that's the logo's gone through a lot of changes, but where we stand now is I like it a lot. It's very brandable.
Got it. And obviously, this is your Facebook page.
Yeah, this is also I did the background. It's just different images that I did like in fireworks and kind of outlined them. It kind of shows. I mean, by looking at it, you know that it's somewhat of a like political leaning news website about the U.S.
So this page updates when you update the site.
Yes.
Right. And the
Sometimes
15
I post.
the 15,000 likes came within what time frame?
I'd say 2 years.
All right. And just to confirm, all social media is included with the sale.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. How about this?
Oh, this was just one of the articles that was David Bard writes for us. Great writer. He writes a lot of more subversive kind of articles, and this was one that did very well. And I wanted to show.
Is David Bard someone that we should have heard of?
Maybe not. If you haven't, you haven't. But he contributes with us for free, and he actually has a lot of his pieces we are picked up by other news agencies, and that drives a lot of traffic. So this is kind of one of those kind of conspiracy theory style articles. Um,
Sure,
but you know, we,
I wasn't trying to insult David. I was just really more trying to get a feeling for whether or not he was a well-known professional writer or just a guy that you like and you're calling him out by
yeah, he's written a
name.
couple of books, but so he's there. But he
And
writes for a lot of different sources.
is this someone you have a personal relationship with, or he would the kind of guy that would continue writing
He's
regardless?
the kind of guy that will continue writing, and I don't have a personal relationship with it. We've never met. He actually, I put is one of these ads that I put for free on Craigslist, asking people, under the writers section, I put it say, hey, are you interested in? Do you have a voice or opinion about politics? Do you want to be heard? If you want, you can write for us. And he was one of the people that inquired. And
And you don't pay him anything.
no,
Does he get a link back to his main site?
he gets. I don't actually think he has one. Or he's never requested. On some people, we do a link back. When you click on their name, it goes to kind of a bio, and there it links to their profile. I think he chose actually for his main. David Barr just links to his Facebook. Um, and
And that's fine if they do or they don't. It doesn't mean anything good or bad. I was just wanted to clarify it.
oh, absolutely.
So how about this article here?
Oh, this was one I don't know if you see, but this is one of the kind of cut off part of it to show the shares, but it was one that I put together. It's a very short article, actually. It's kind of satire, but within like 2 days, it got over 30,000 Facebook shares and kind of really went viral. And to me, it's a good indication of, of the allegiance the platform allows uh, um, for a lot of opportunity to be heard and to really get out there and to create a lot of traffic. It's a lot about understanding the audience and putting out things. I really didn't think that something satirical would do as well, but it really did. It really took off.
I guess this is as good of a time to ask as any because you've um, just on the whole subject of being viral. So my understanding is that this got shared out there purely from Facebook likes. Are you sending out an email campaign as well? Are you collecting email addresses from people and sending out your like a daily
Mhm.
digest or anything?
We currently have about 2,800 email subscribers on two different platforms. Actually, the pop-up that when you first go on the website and you sign up is actually a feed burner RSS email subscription form with about 2,700 subscribers. And then we have a WordPress based one that's actually in the corner of the website, and that has about, I think, maybe 270. So together, very close to 3,000 email subscribers. So every time a new story goes out, all of those people immediately get it. And then I push it to Facebook and Twitter and all the other um,
And how long have you been collecting those email addresses?
you know what? Actually, the pop-up maybe 6 months. Before that, it never really was something that I focused on,
All right,
and I should.
so just shy of 3,000 in a 6 month period.
Yeah, I mean, before that, I had just the one in the corner, and I didn't really think about it because to me, like I was focused on the Facebook and social media, and
Well,
now I realize how powerful.
we talk to owner operators all the time that have political based websites that rent out their email list during campaign season and do quite well with it. Um, it's just something to think about for you and for those listening. All right, moving along.
Absolutely.
What is this article here?
Let's see here. Oh yeah, this is another article that David Bard wrote. It was quite popular, actually. I don't know, something he came up with, and I usually don't censor a lot, so if it comes up, I actually enjoyed the article, and it's good sources, but it was quite a shocker, I guess. And I
Hmm,
think on the top is kind of a bio of that he put together about himself.
got it. How many writers do you have?
Active, I'd say probably 20 to 25 on a list to where we could email any one of them and see if they wanted to write something. They probably would. I'd say, man, almost five, 600.
Okay. And what is
I have
this?
a list on WordPress where everybody that ever inquires about writing, I put them in there, and there's thousands of emails piled in there that I've just never really. I mean, it's a little time consuming, I guess, to try to run through them. So I kind of like when I want to publish something, I just check my email and publish something that's recent that somebody sent me probably that day or the day before.
Sure. What are we looking at now? Is this a sponsored post?
Yeah, I think that's an image in one of the sponsored posts, which is something. It's kind of a new idea, but I've been having a lot of people inquire, so I even made a page about it where people can pay us to publish a story that's sponsored, meaning really it kind of has links back to either product or service that is subtly being promoted, but it's still based on an article that has some use to be read or some interest. It's not purely commercial.
How how much do you charge for that?
Between $99 to $500 a piece,
And
and usually we don't write them either.
what percentage of your revenue is generated through them?
Well, it's kind of more of a recent idea because I never really, I don't update the site enough to make it viable to constantly put sponsored posts. I think we've probably done maybe a dozen since the website has been up. So a few $1,000s in the entire time, so not a large revenue, but potentially it could become a very large portion of the revenue.
So, speaking of revenue, um, there's two ways to look at this. One is that something calamitous happened in October, and the other way to look at this would be that it's relatively stable. You just happen to have some kind of abnormal peak in August and September. Tell us what you see when you look at it.
I see a period of time where I was very devoted to the site. Um, and really I just had some financial goals because I was looking forward to opening this restaurant, to getting that started, and so I just put more time and effort into it, and that's what really spiked it. I know that doesn't sound terribly detailed, but it's really what happened. More stuff was coming out, more articles went viral in that period of time, and it was kind of a snowball effect. And I was, the past few months I really haven't put out a lot of things as far as articles or anything.
All right, so just to be a little more technical about it, because you know, with effort, you got to almost to $45,000 a month to to suddenly go back down to 6 or 7 thousand a month. Um, I
Yeah,
I want just is it was it because you were ranking for a lot of keywords during that time? Let's put the effort part aside for a second. It just in just kind of a were you getting more traffic during that period? And if you were, was it because you were buying more, or because you were getting more free traffic from Google, or because you had some viral campaigns successful?
it was absolutely because of the traffic. It's the only reason why all
Hmm.
of the advertisers paid out more. And it was specifically because we published more content. More content went viral, and I just put more effort into sending out the articles. Every time something came up and we published every day, I would send it to contacts, before it's news or the Atlantic or Democracy Now, and they would also publish it, just creating more and more traffic. Um,
Okay.
and as a matter of fact, the real drop is because once I got that $45,000 check, and I had kind of met my goal, I kind of stopped publishing, and that's why I really dropped down. And then I kind of picked it back up a little bit this year, to being steadying around 5, 6,000 a month.
Got it. Um, and then you've got your expenses at just a flat amount. Is this hosting?
Yep.
All right. So for anybody else who's watching, just wanted to point out the obvious that we can get the analytics and dig more into the whole traffic thing for to interested parties. Uh, Michael, if you would tell us what a day in the life is like operating this business.
Well, in high times, I would probably go to other sites, other news sites, or watch the news and find articles that I would interested in, and maybe write something personally, or just go through my email and find an article that's well put together and put it out there, and then share it through social media. All in all, a couple of hours. Usually, I do all of this within the morning time. Then, if you want to put more time, I have a little app that allowed me to pre post like memes and pictures and things through the Facebook page, and it would post every hour. But you could set that all up to be done during the day. And so, with hourly publishing on the social media platforms, plus at least one article published a day, is like the optimal amount of activity. And that is, I'd say, 2 3 hours in the morning that can be done. So every day you're hitting all of those email subscribers, you're hitting all of the people on Facebook, all the people on social media, and so that's creating a good amount of buzz, if you will.
And how many total hours, man hours a day do you think it takes?
I would say optimally at least three.
All right, that's not so bad. So, if someone was to ask you, what had you always thought that this site could become? What did you envision, or what have you just not had the time, money, or resources to get to or to pull off? How would you answer that question?
Well, well, right now, I'm trying to open this restaurant, so the time is put elsewhere, and that's my first passion is being a restaurateur, if you will. But my expectations for the website and the possibilities are really limitless with this site, um, specifically because there is such an easy ratio between the traffic and the earnings, and the costs are so low. It's very quantifiable as far as the time and the effort you put in, the more money you can make. And it really depends on the direction. You could change it into any political leaning, and you could put more incentives and more focus on the sponsored posts, or you could go more with just strictly news, or a mixture of the two. Like you said, you could rent out also the newsletter during political campaigns. Um, so much you can do. You could put a lot of focus on the YouTube channel and start creating more of like Web 2.0 and actual videos around the Allegiant, or you could just keep it, online. You could pursue actually publishing a magazine, and you could do that through campaigns on the website and try to get people to sign up. And then if you could get 1,000 people to pay like a yearly subscription, then it could be justifiable to actually have a print magazine. So it's really endless.
Got it. And I think I know the answer to this question, but why are you selling it?
I could use the upfront cash for operational costs with the restaurant, because we had the opportunity to purchase the location instead of leasing. And we went ahead and did that, but it cut into our operational budget quite a bit. So, if we don't have a couple of good months in the beginning, we're not going to have a lot of cash. So, and then plus time is of essence. I'm cooking, so
Sure, that's one of the most specific use cases as an answer to that question I've heard in one of these open house presentations. Um, well, listen, I was asking the questions as they were coming. We don't have any waiting for us at the end. You did a really great job, and I appreciate your time. For anybody who's listening, if you have additional questions, if you want to dig more into the traffic and revenue, the listing broker's Adam Beebe. You can reach out to him at adam@latonas.com. And of course, the door is always open in my office. My email address is rick@latonas.com, and I'd love to hear from anyone. So, Michael, thank you again so much.
Oh, it's been my pleasure.
All right, guys, take care, everybody.
All right, thank you.